and welcome back to my channel where I try and create home decor stuff on a budget. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this fall/Thanksgiving welcome signboard by using an MDF board and some dollar store pumpkins. So if you want to know how I made this, then please keep on watching. I am starting by removing the stems of these pumpkins since we will not be needing these. Then I am using this kitchen knife to split them into half. Since these pumpkins are cheaply made, so a normal kitchen knife is good enough to cut them. Once I have cut all my pumpkins, I am using this leftover white latex exterior paint to paint all these pumpkins. Now there are a couple of reasons of why I used this paint. Firstly and most importantly, I was out of my normal acrylic paint and I was just too lazy to go out and get it. Secondly, since I was planning to keep this board outside, so this paint will be good against all the sun, wind, etc. And lastly, and this is something that I realized while I was painting the pumpkins, that it's really difficult to paint on these. Whatever orange paint that has been used on these just doesn't allow any other paint to stick on it. So using this thick exterior paint really saved me some time, but having said that, I still had to give it like 3 good coats of paint. Also, while you are in between the coats, make sure to give some time for the paint to dry. Next, to write my letters on the pumpkin, I got this stack of paper stencil of letters from Walmart. These are not ideal, but I was also not very confident of directly writing on the pumpkin, so I ended up using these stencils. But if you can manage to write freely, then please do it. So I'm folding the letter card into half so that I can bend it around the pumpkin. Then I used a bunch of clear tapes to stick these cards on the pumpkin. Also try and use a masking tape instead of a clear tape because that will avoid any paint lift off while you are taking the tape off the pumpkin once you are done. But I could not find my masking tape, so I just ended up using this clear tape. As I said, that is not an ideal way of doing it, but I just tried and traced the letter on the pumpkin for a guide, and the rest I filled it on my own. For tracing, I used a regular dry erase pen in black, something that I can easily erase in case I mess it up. And once it is traced, I finished it with a black permanent marker. As you can see that it's not perfect, but I just decided to roll with it. Then to make the stem of the pumpkin, I went out and picked up a random branch of a tree outside my house, and what I'm going to do here is measure about 3 centimeters of this branch, cut it by using a handsaw, and then wrap a piece of twine around it by using some hot glue. Also, you can use your regular kitchen knife to cut this branch unless you use too thick of a branch for making the stem. Here I am slightly burning the loose strands of the twine to give it a cleaner look. Then I'm sticking the stem on the pumpkin by using some hot glue. Now for sticking these pumpkins on the board, I am using this scrap leftover piece of an MDF board. To make it look more presentable and pretty, I painted this board by using an acrylic paint in Granite Gray. Just one good coat was good enough for this board. But in case you do not have an MDF board with you, don't worry, you can use your normal wood board, cardboard or any surface which you feel will look good. I used MDF board because I did not have any other wood piece or cardboard piece of this length. The length of the board that I have used here is around 54.5 inches. Now, as I had mentioned before, since this was a scrap piece of board, its edges were not straight. So to cover that up, I used these half-split wooden dowels, had it cut and stuck them along the sides by using some hot glue to cover all that rough edges. And I'm extremely sorry for this because I hadn't realized that I was out of frame while I was shooting this entire part. But honestly, it is just sticking the dowel on the board with some hot glue, and you do not even have to do this part if you have a proper board. Then I arranged my pumpkins on the board, marked their position and again hot glued them. I did leave a gap between two pumpkins, and for deciding this gap, I just used the diameter of the small bottle of paint. So basically, whatever the diameter of this bottle is, that's the gap between the two pumpkins. You can decide the gap between two pumpkins on the basis of how big your board is and if at all you want to leave a gap. Finally, to fill this empty space on the top, I am using this bunch of leaves and pumpkin, join them together by using a wire and hot glue them on the board. And that finishes my Thanksgiving/welcome signboard. Let me know what you think of this DIY. If you liked it, then hit the like button, share your views and feedback in the comment section below, Share it with your friends and family in case they are looking for some last-minute DIYs for Thanksgiving. And if you like doing or watching DIYs in general, then subscribe to my channel and click the bell to remain updated on when I upload all my videos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please take care and stay safe.